the Shaar right? Okay, so on page Taf Reish Samach Zayin. Achar kach anu oimrim Shmei Rabbah, we say Shmei Rabbah after Yiskada v'Yiskadash. Pirush. Ki hineren is boyer v'tzleinu. Kamochim the Elokim lopamim nikra elam. What's interesting to me is it says so far it's talking about Kaddish, because if you talk about Elokim, so the Elokim is in such a level that it's like elam. This is when the Kali is really a hold of them, of the Elokims, and it makes it an Elam. Ki Shnei Osias Yak, these two letters Yud and K exist within the name Elokim. It's in a reverse order, but it's those two letters. Heim miskasim b'nei Elamim, they become hidden. The connection to a higher level is hidden. Ne'elamin, as a result of it, they become mute. B'nishar ileim min Elokim, that sounds like Pesach. B'zecha b'sed pasuk ne'elamti domia, this is whether I became an elam, domia, and we have to understand that domia means quiet or not able to talk, or let's see what it means. Pirush. Ki yashecha b'cho yedom domia. Pirush. What does that mean? Again, dom yak. Dom, quiet. Yak. Of Yud K. That Yud K is silent. Rutz alomer. She'osias Yud K m'shem elokim. Heim domamim. B'shvil hachitzonim, because the tzonim are sort of like strangling them or shutting them up. Ve'enim misgalam, and they're not revealed. So like I say that, what puzzles me about this is that we're dealing with Mochin Dekatnis. So the Mochin Dekatnis can go into sounds like he's saying it goes into such a katnis, a state of katnis, that it becomes elaine. He's a alamdi. V'shem elokim na'asa elaine. B'prat atach b'glusein de'rebezech amar, so that all this galus that we're in right now, shechazer b'chazada b'chinas katnis, that God, that Zeranpin has come into the level of katnis. Vo ne'emen de'alamdi nomia, and there it says when you get into that level, a certain level, I guess you can't speak. For the chain ain mispala, the ana mispalim, so therefore we pray. She'elach amorin the kata shehem shemus Elokim, which are the names of Elokim. Yugdul v'yiskanshu, that let them grow up and let them become kodesh pirush ki kol b'chinas kadesh. Hu b'mochin kenizka la'el. All the concept of kaddish we said before has to do with mochin. Not sure what he meant by that. I just said, so we'll see in the Tev. Because he wants to say the root of a Moach, Hushnei Osius Yud K Shebeshem Elokim. So Elokim, which is the what we call the name of Katniss, he says that which actually gives them that power, any power to be Mochin, is Yud and K. Shehem sod chach b'ravinach nikra yak kanoidik v'rashech distalku shorish amochin nisha ilem, and you remove them, there's no sound. And when they come back again, shehem shnei osis yud k min elokem, az yiskadshu, this causes a kiddush ki yimshuku hamochim v'shrashim v'ygadol v'zechu yizgada v'yiskadish. Let's run real quick through the Hakavanot, and it starts on Kuf Samach Tes, and it says V'achir Ramiris Yizgada v'Yiskadash Het Hemshek HaKaddish Kama Hu Yizgado v'Yiskadu. So how is it that it's going to actually Yizgada v'Yiskadash Shmei Rabbah Kocho, like that way it should grow. Hakavanot, who the Kavanot is the Mochin the Katnit the Zer Anpin Heim Shemos Shel Elokim, as is known, but Limpamim Heim Rak Shemos Elim Mishemus Elokim. They're on that level. Kashiyesh Yanikas Akali b'Mochin the Katnit the Shem Elokim, because the Yanika the Kali is so strong there. Az Naasa Mishemus Shel Elokim Shemos Elim, and there comes the names of Elokim become Elim. Pirush Atach B'Vayar Rav. So how does that come about? He says, Kavan, since Sheshnei Osias Yak V'Shem Elokim Miskasim B'Nerolomim, and they become hidden in Nerev Edim Eirim, and they don't shine. Ukashnei Osias Yud K Mishem Elokim Miskasim and Elamim. He says it again. Nisha Rak Osias Elam Mishem Elokim. V'zachar Kavanot is a positive Elam Tedomiyah. So that's the positive. There's a pshat in that pasuk. And if you want to explain it, it's a Pirish Kavanot who Rab Mevayer Pirish Al Pi So Tevis Domiyah. So domia could be made into dom and yak, and the tables domia mischal shnei tables shehem dom and yud k. Is a pirish a gavana ratzalom is this bezehu shnei elokim excuse me shem elokim yesh lo chamesh osias above geshtei osias yud k mishem elokim ein domamim ve'enim meirim, meaning that they don't shine. They're there, or maybe they're there, but they have no energy within them. Ashnei Osias Yud and Kem Shem Elokim Domamim Kadesh Lo Yanko Hachitzani Bechem Chaz V'Shalom. Now he said it a little differently than I thought he was going to say. He said, "What happens is if they shine in a certain situation." Let's read again. Ashnei Osias Yud and Kem Shem Elokim Domamim. They're quiet. Kadesh Lo Yanko, and why do they stay quiet? Because there's such a grip of the Kitzonim on them that they're hiding, so to speak, or they're just not being able to be used by the Kitzonim. Mechem Chas v'Shalom. Then he says, "V'kushem de'olomim," and in that state, enim isgalimaz, then they're no longer able to reveal the moach. And so comes what comes out of that, and what's made out of that. At the beginning of Na'alamti, the concept of becoming completely quiet, Shuhu Lashon Elaim, mute. When they don't shine, Nishra Hashem Elokim Rak B'Shlosha Osias, just three letters, the Vad, which are the letters Aleph Lamed Mem, B'Shem Elokim. Nimsa Sheyesh Zaman Shalamochim Heim Elokim, and so it comes out like this. There are times when the mochim of godness are in a stage of Elokim, v'yesh zman shemistalkim b'shnei osios yud and k. Now here he says that they actually leave mishem Elokim v'chabamochim heim rak elam mishem Elokim. They don't shine at all. This sounds like you're being completely captured. That is, the mochim are completely under the control of the kali. So he says, his gadlus akali at the time of this galus, he says, begalus chazer hazal the bechidas mochin the kata b'meshach hayom b'meshach hayom chutz mizmanech tefilo. So this is the natural state of a galus azechan ne'ember b'pasav shechan ne'galom edomiyah shechaser shnei osius yud and k b'shem elokim. They're missing those letters. Now I'm not sure what he's adding here, other than what he said already. In order to bring the mochin into a state in which they're supposed to be. Now he's just talking about katnus anyway, but there's a state below katnus, which is domia. So Hakavanot zakada the his pala v'lahamshach hamochem kadesh shechashemos shel akatna the yigadlo, so the names of kaddish grow v'his kadshul ayidera hemshech hamochem echadash, and by bringing it to mochim in. Now he said perusha, who let me explain this. V'lechein shayach Hakavanot shechamochi yigadlo v'his kadshul shel loshen kodesh ne'ember b'chalamochem, because what does he mean? As in regards to the mochem, what does that mean? He said, "Shaloshen Kodesh Ne'emar al Hamochin" is really speaking about Mochin. I'm not sure what he means. Let me explain it better. Ha'ikar v'shorosh Hamochin shal Zaman Akatnos heim b'Ramaza b'Shnei Osius Yud K b'Shem Elokim. He says the ikar, the root of the Mochin Akatnos, comes from these two letters Yud and K, which are Abba v'Ima. And he said, "B'Shnei Osius Yud and K b'Shem Elokim." Heim merumazan the shnei mochim shehem chochma bina. Chochma hu merumaz ba'oz yud, ubina remumaz ba'oz hey. So he says, and he v'chavakasher b'shnei mochim shehem chub. V'chein shorshe hamochim kushehem mistalkim b'zir anpen, when they leave zir anpen, az nishar osios elim, which we understand min elokim v'az keviyachol na'aseh hazeh b'chinas elim. V'shechoisech l'bo hashnei mochim an nizkarim b'zah. Hashnei mochim and nizkarim heim chub d'zah ha-rumazech b'shnei osios yak min shem elokim, which also could be seen, those two letters are also inside of the elokim. I said, just pointing out, they're in a backwards form. So the question is that what exactly this is? We're still talking about continence. Because the mochim are streamed into zer anpin. So these two mochim are the root of the mochim. That doesn't sound exactly right grammatically. When you bring in the root of the mochin, I guess it would say, Elokim Mali, then it becomes a complete Elokim, which is a complete Moach of continence. Of Lo Rak Osius Elim and Elokim. So he wants to say that he's saying that before we're davening, or before we're actually, we're walking and we're thinking in Torah and we're doing whatever we're doing, if we're not doing that, we're kind of like Elim. It's not really, the Kaddish brings it back in. And now we have those words. Now we have a couple of minutes. So let me read the next part on the top. Let's see how that goes. So he said, now what does he mean? We're going to see this later on. There's two different types of Hagdolos. This growing, or I don't know, in the Kedusha that we say, it starts from the bottom, it starts and goes upwards. Now what does he mean? Until this time, but it doesn't have a milui. Now, the first thing he said, there's two different types of growing here, so the first one, he says that from Elam, which is not thinking about it at all. I'm not sure what he wants to tell me about what the state of Elam is for me. Does it mean like, I don't know. That's just the nature of continence, without davening, without bringing in the saying Kaddish. That's what he says. So then you're wondering, well, what does the milui do for it? So therefore the kach, sarek hagdala shenis, it has to have another level of growth. Which shehem elokim b'milui yudin, b'muach hanikra chochma, elokim b'milui hayin, b'muach hanikra bina, v'elokim b'milui alofim, b'muach hanikra das. Let's see what we're doing time-wise. Okay, so I'm going to do a little of this one, and then we'll go over to the Sifra Tzniuta. We're on number Reish Zion. He says, light print. Yesh lana la'aso shnei pu'ulos shel hagdala b'inyan eilach hamochen HaKaddish. So when you're listening to the Kaddish, or you're saying the Kaddish, and you're saying Yiskada v'Yiskadash, now you got the Shmei Rabbah. And we understand that there's a Yud K in that idea. He says not just that we're going from Elam to Elokim. He says it's more than that. Which is called growing. So he said, but it starts out from the bottom going upwards. What does it mean? So he says, let me read the black. He says, Admirus HaKaddish Hoyach and B'mochim Shecho B'kata D'Zecha B'rak B'bechinas Osius Elam Min Elokim B'achar Kach Ma'amshichem B'shnei Osius Yud and K B'ozne Na'asim B'mochim B'bechinas Shem Elokim complete Molei Chamesh Osius, which has 5 letters to it. So he says, where are we? There we are. He says, Aval hamochim heim adayim ke'es elokim b'shutim bilti shemus mi'ulehem. So he said, v'kadei l'sakein od es hamochim. In order to be able to build them properly, tzarichin l'hagadech l'hamochim od pam shenis, we had to build them again. So I'm saying that the milui has something to do with growth also. So how is it that you're going to grow them again? This is the second one. So that you fill it out. He's saying, I thought it was something different, really. He's saying that when you make a milui, what you're doing is you're making it bigger. So you're filling it out. He says, Elokim Pashad Yismalo v'mulu'echem v'anoadim. V'atim b'farish v'rachav eichem v'malechem shemus Elokim. And I explain something we already know. Moach ha'chachma d'zechav nizbalach v'elokim b'milui yudin, like this. We'll skip down and moach bina d'zan nizbalach b'milui ha'heyed kazeh, like this. Excuse me. V'elokim b'milui alafim b'moach hanik v'das. That's called das. So I've described Amuach das the Zeranpin is Malabachim b'milu alafim kazan. It looks like this. Benimsa should call hashloshim mine miluyim. So there comes out all the 3 different types of miluyim. Elu hashinuyim aim rak ba'oz hey levad. That's interesting. They focus only on the letter hey. But everything else is going to be the same. So let's start understanding of kocha, and I guess we'll stop right here. I think we have to stop right here. So today is, I don't know what day it is. God, I just read God. And we will move on to the Sefer Tzniota. 1 second.